Hi, this is Mark Schwartzendruber, and today we're going to make some hummus with Chana Dal beans, organic, premium quality Bob's Red Mill Chana Dal beans. I have got those soaking in a pan of water right now to soften them up. Those are going to, these have been soaking for about 8 hours, and they're ready to go onto the stove top, and then we're going to cook them on the stove top for about an hour and a half. So let me transfer these, and we'll add a little bit more water into the pan so that we're not boiling the water out of here. And into this cooking mixture, I'm going to add a little bit of about a tablespoon of some smoked salt. Now, if you don't have smoked salt, don't worry about it, just use regular salt. But I've got this nice smoked salt that's going to add a nice smoky flavor into the bean. All right, my beans have started to cook over here, and you can see they do get a little bit of foam up on top as they're starting to cook. But we're going to cook these down until they're soft. And part of the reason for seasoning the water is that we're going to take part of the water, about a quarter cup of the cooking fluid, and we're going to use that in the hummus as we make it, so we have that seasoned with the salt at this point in time. To that, as we get it going, we've got 6 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice, a little bit more salt. We've got about 4 teaspoons of fresh dill. We're going to add about 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, about a tablespoon of cumin, and a tablespoon of raw cane sugar. You can use stevia, or you can use Splenda if you want to as well, because those are low glycemic, low sugar, and that type of thing. So the other thing that's really cool about this hummus is that contrary to traditional hummus, it's not made with tahini, which is a sesame seed, basically peanut butter made out of sesame seeds, right? And there is no olive oil in this. So you've got about 150 calories and only 2.5 grams of fat per serving with this hummus, as opposed to well over 300 calories and about 20 grams of fat in a traditional hummus. So this is very low calorie, very low fat, but it is going to taste very good. All right, I've got my beans cooking down. I've skimmed the head off of the beans. You'll find that as you get those things boiling initially, it develops quite a head, almost like a cup of cappuccino. So I've skimmed that off, and now we've got our nice simmer going, and we're going to cook that for about another hour. Forgot to mention when I was running down the list of ingredients earlier that we are going to add some garlic in. I've got about 3 cloves of some really nice fresh garlic here that we're going to scaff into the food processor when we get it all going, and that's going to add just a wonderful, nothing beats garlic. So how about that? And then we've got Tisa the Wonder Dog, my white lab, is eagerly awaiting the results. Every time I'm cooking in the kitchen, she is at my feet with the hopes that I drop something on the floor that she can help me clean up. But hopefully we won't drop any of the hummus ingredients down on the floor tonight, but I'll probably give her a little bit of a taste just to give her a reward for being such good kitchen help. And I am draining my beans here. Shake that out real good, get those beans out of there, and the rest we can scrape out with the spatula. I'm going to let those drain for a little bit, sit there and cool down. One thing about what you're doing, you see my martini there, the cook always needs to have a little bit of help in the kitchen, and that's my little helper. One thing about cooking in the food processor that you'll really need to be aware of is that if you put a bunch of hot things into a food processor and then gas that baby and turn it on, you're going to end up with an eruption about like Mount Pinatubo. So let those things cool down. I'm going to put my 3 cloves of garlic. I've added my 6 tablespoons of lemon juice. In goes the fresh dill. We're going to put a pinch, which is about a tablespoon of my smoked salt. And in the food processor now we're going to shake in my 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And I'm eyeballing this. You guys, if you want to measure it, I've been doing this for a long time. I'm not a professional, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express, and I'm pretty accurate when it comes to eyeballing and so on. There goes a couple of shakes of the cumin. One more, and that's going to be about right for what we have to do now. In goes the 1/4 cup of the cooking liquid, and if you recall, again, this has got the flavor off of those beans. It's got a little bit of that smoked salt in there, and that's just going to add a wonderful goodness to it here. I'm going to scrape out my pan, and we'll add the beans in there and start to mix that up. Alright, now we're going to add the sugar in on top of the beans. The beans are in the food processor. They've cooled down sufficiently, so I'm not going to have a volcanic eruption when I try to turn the food processor on. On we go. I'm going to lock that baby down, and we're going to pulse it. And then full gas. Now we're going to do this until it starts to get a nice creamy consistency. As you can see, it's already starting to do that. We're going to turn this off. See those beans that are stuck to the side there? And the dill? We want to make sure that that all gets down in there. So I'm going to turn this baby off and scrape those off the side, get those down into the mix. Wow, take a look at that. Now, take a little knife and just kind of give it a dip test like this and check that consistency out. I mean, that is perfect consistency for hummus. It's not too thick, it's not runny, and I'm going to take a little taste test here. You can put this on tortillas, you can do bread, you can dip vegetables into it, you can obviously go with the pita. But my goodness, this is going in my mouth right off of my finger. That is good stuff. So there you have it. A low-fat, low-calorie Chana hummus featuring Bob's Red Mill Chana Dal beans. Enjoy.